What is going on, fitness coaches? Welcome to another episode of the Change Lives Make Money on the Trainer podcast. It's your boy, Brian Mark. And in today's episode, I'm joined by one of my rock star clients, Danya Powers. What's up, Danya?
Not much. So you pronounce my name Danya.
Damn it, Danya.
Damn
Dude,
it, Danya. That's actually on
Danya.
it's in my merch line. Damn it, Danya shirts.
Damn it, Danya. I like that. Damn it,
So
Danya.
yeah,
I love
yeah.
that.
So it's so nice to be here.
Yes, you've been with me now for how long? How long have we been
I
podcast?
joined you in December of 2022. I joined CLA originally.
Cool. So why don't you give a little bit of a backstory? Where are you from? Like what do you do? Like, are you a mom? Like, give me the whole backstory so my audience gets to know you a little bit.
Okay. So I am actually a coach. I've been a coach since 2005. So I was an in-person coach in a gym for several years, and I just found that that was not the best place to be a coach. And so I pulled out and started my own company in 2011
Yep.
and started going to people's homes, traveling homes. And that was actually great for me at the time. It was healing because I was pretty hurt from the departure from the gym because it ended badly.
Mm,
But I went from home to home, but there's only so much time in the day. You know what I
mm,
mean? So my money was capped. It was pretty limited because you can only drive so much. I am a mom. I have 5 children. I have 3 of my womb and 2 of my heart. I've got a senior in high school. He's the last one at home. I have 1 in the Navy, 1 in the Air Force. And then I have a grandbaby on the
wow.
way in March. And so I'm super excited about that. But, just life just stays really super busy because I am a mom, but I've always been an entrepreneur. I think that's always been in my heart. And so I've always been looking for coaching. I did multi-level marketing for many years. I started multi-level marketing when I was young, like 19, because I saw that as a way as
Hmm.
an uneducated person to kind of get in and make money, but never really got to. I always found that was making a big corporation a lot of money, and it was not as much money in my pocket, if that makes
Mm,
sense. And so,
yep.
but I did learn a lot about business. So I don't regret any of that journey. I learned a lot about business success principles. When you sit in a room of millionaires, it's a different conversation. And
Mm,
so I saw that as something that I wanted, but I wanted it to be mine. I really did. I really wanted to take all the skill set that I had brought since 2005 into my coaching
mm,
and be able to utilize it. I have all this knowledge. It's like information constipation if you can't share it with the world. And so what happened with my online coaching, I started my online coaching company in 2019. Actually, you reached out to me. It was so funny because I had a message from you in 2019, like, hey, how's it going? And I was like, who's this punk kid, man? I don't know who this punk is. But then you started mentoring sometime around there with Bedros Keuilian. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And then I started stalking you because I've been a huge fan of Bedros. I wanted to start a fit body boot camp. That was I want to do this. I think it'd
Oh,
be so
no way.
awesome. Yeah. So I had already been stalking Bedros for years. And so that kind of gave you a lot of credibility in my mind. And so I was like,
Mm.
okay, I'm going to follow this punk kid around. And so then what happened in 2022, I reached out because somebody was copying your profile. I was like, hey, nobody messes with my friends. And so I reached out and I was like, hey, somebody's copying your profile. And you're like, hey, did you work out today? And I was like, yeah. And it started the whole conversation. And then before I knew it, I was part of CLA. I think within 2 or 3 days of talking to you, I was part of CLA. And I literally maxed out every credit card. I took a cash advance and I paid you every penny. And I don't regret it for a day because I don't know, it's just changed my life. So that's really how I got started. I was with
Mm,
my mother-in-law that she was dying at the time. And so I kept messaging you back, like, I'm with my mother-in-law and she's my buddy. And it was really hard to watch her go. But it was like it was just like a time for a new beginning. Like every time
mm,
like you have something coming to an end, it's really important, I think, to lean in and have a new beginning. And you were that for me. So, and
mm.
you look just like my son. So
Really?
that was yeah, yeah. He's like your twin. I was like, hey, he could have been mine, that Brian. So
I love it. I love it.
yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your journey getting started. Because, when people are listening to the podcast, you're making, I believe it's $15,000 a month right now. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, this month I've made so far 16.7. So yeah.
16.7. I got to fucking update the podcast title. Damn. Okay.
Yeah. It's all right.
That's right. So tell me a little bit about when you first got started, because people that are hearing that number, $16,700, like there's people that are in my audience right now that have 100,000 followers that make $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
So like when you first got started, tell me a little bit of the struggles that you had when you were first getting your business off the ground.
Well, belief is a big one. Gosh, I had just not made that much money. And
Mm,
so, and honestly, with my online coaching, God, I was all over the place. So I really hadn't made very much money with online coaching at all and didn't know how to start or where to start. So with my business itself that I had established, I've been running, this was 2022.
mm,
I've been running my business for 10 years. And the
mm.
most I had ever made was $3,000, I think, or 2,500, maybe even.
Wow.
And so, and you were so sweet about that. You were like, well, that's nothing to be ashamed of. And I was like, well, thanks. It made me feel pretty good about myself. But when I first got started, it was December. And coaches, we all know this. If you've been in the fitness industry for any amount of time, December is a rough month. It's not necessarily a month where you're going to make a whole lot of money. People have already spent the money. They're probably not going to invest back into January, but I still made, I think, $3,500 getting started mid-month with you in December and had a rocking month. I had a very successful month. I think I did almost 5,000 the next month, or no, I did over 5,000 in January. And so for me, that was huge to be able to go on that successful path. And all I did was do what you told me to do. That's really all I did. I was like, I read, I followed. In fact, here's the thing that caught me, and it's been like an awesome thing, but also a thing where I've had to like slow down to speed up a little bit. But the big thing was sell before you're ready. Like, okay, well, I'll just start selling stuff. And then it was like when I sold clients, I was like, oh shit, I've got to build all these programs and I don't know how to do that. So I was learning how to use Trainerize. It was all brand new to me, but I did it and it was amazing. And you have such a great setup of coaches, and Shal and Shay, Josh, they were taking such good care of us and making sure that we had what we needed. I became really good friends with Coach T through the process. And so there's been just some really great friendships that have come out of it that have really helped propel me and help encourage me. So when I walked through, I made 5,000. I think I made 6,000 the next month. 7 was just kind of climbing up. And I made 10,000 in May, which I didn't tell anybody because I was like, oh my God, this is such a fluke.
Yeah.
And then this was 2023. And then I made $10,000 again in June. So I was like, okay. And then you reached out and you were like, hey, do you want to join the 10K? And I was like, yes, I do. I made my family pull over. We were like on a vacation.
I remember vacation. That.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, pull over the car right now. Brian Mark had sent me a message. And so, yeah, so we pulled over. I made them listen because I was really proud of myself. I just had, I'm 48. I'm not, this young thing walking around with this sexy body trying to sell myself online because of how I look. I've been walking around with my knowledge, trying to share and help people. And so, it was just, I was very proud of myself when I got invited to the 10K. So I do feel like it's rare air, and it's important to know what you've paid for when you have a seat at the table. So I'm very thankful to be in the 10K. Since I've hit the 10K, it's rare that I drop below 10K. It's like just, a fluky thing. Usually 10K plus is what I make in the 10K mastermind.
So you've been in the 10K mastermind now for over a year and a half. So you'd say you've like in the last 12 months, like what would you say your revenue would be if you had to like guess off the top of your head in the last 12 months?
I probably made in the last 12 months at least $130,000.
$130,000. Damn.
Yeah. Right? Because who would have thought? I know.
That's fire.
Yeah. I'm excited about that. I'm so thankful. I think that sometimes people get so caught up. And then, like I said, I've had to slow down to speed up to catch up on details and learn how to be a CEO, and still learning that part and still learning finances. But I don't think people realize what an amazing person that you are. And I love everything that you pour into this program. The first time that I met you, you sent me a podcast, and I had been trying to be an online coach for 3 years, and I learned everything that I needed to know on that podcast. And I was like, well, clearly I need to be with this guy, So yeah, I'm so thankful to be here. So
I receive all of your gratitude. Thank you. You're fucking awesome. I also love your energy. Your energy is fantastic. I'm sure everybody also agrees with that. So give me a little bit of a story on like your social media. So, because I want everyone to really fully understand, how many followers do you have on Instagram? How many followers do you have on Facebook? How many followers do you have on TikTok? Like what's your social media look like?
So, followers, when you say somebody has 100,000 followers and they only make $1,000 a month, that is baffling to me, because on Instagram, I hover around 1,800. I still beast that out every week, sending out my DMs, doing my following, all the different things. I just haven't had that breakthrough video to really bust out, which I keep working and it's going to happen. And so I'm super pumped about that. When it does happen, I'm going to be like, Brian Mark, look what happened. So it's going to be great. But, on YouTube, I think, YouTube is kind of sad. I think I have like 150 followers or something like that. But Facebook is where I get most of my business, about 4,000 followers, maybe just under 4,000. TikTok has been building. I think when I started, I had somewhere around 100. It's got about 1,500 followers. And that's pretty much where I don't have a whole lot of followers. No, I do get that comment a lot. Anytime you shout me out, they're like, dear God, how are you making that much money? It's got to be a lie. And I'm like, that's not a lie. Here's my screen. Here's my board. Here's my dashboard.
You know what's funny? I wanted to share that because like Danya Powers, you're a fucking beast. Like you're making $15,000 a month with 10,000 followers. That's fucking gangster.
Yeah, but you've got such good systems though, Brian. That's the thing. Like if you're implementing the systems, and so I have had this fear that I've built, this fear of trust of these people that I've built, right? But that's like triple, quadrupled during this business, because and I branched out. I just started really hitting Texas big. That's huge. Texas is massive. It's the size of a whole country over there. So, but it hasn't reflected my followers. But it's been a faith journey, and it has served me well.
You said it's been a faith journey. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, so anytime that you are telling your family that we're going to eat canned goods because I'm purchasing this program, and so you're going to be okay with that. It's a leap of faith. So I feel like anytime you're investing in yourself, it's a leap of faith. When you are a mom and we've been super dirt poor before. I'm on my third marriage, but I've been single mom before. And when we were single moms, we survived off the fact that people dropped off groceries. I don't know who did it, but I had groceries dropped off on my porch. And so I was always able to keep on growing. And I just took that and I was like, let me honor all this. Let me honor all of these gifts. And we're just going to keep on moving forward.
Mm,
But when you take any time that you invest in something, it is a huge faith investment. I don't care
mm,
what it is. And so, and I go back and forth every single time that I invest in something, like what's going to be the best thing for me? What's this? What's that? What's that? But every time I've ever invested in a program that has moved me forward, like this one, let me just say this one's probably the only one that's really done what I wanted it to. It's always been every penny that I have.
mm,
And I don't regret that, because I think that
mm,
sometimes investing in yourself, that's the only seed that you can really draw up, because that's your essence and that's who you're supposed to be. And so that is the one thing you'll recognize, that like, oh, that's me. So I'm going
mm,
to be able to harvest this. You know what I
mm.
mean?
Yeah, I want to deep dive a little bit deeper on that because I don't think anybody's ever talked about this on my podcast. I think it's important. Where did you develop the courage to be able to take leaps of faith like that? Because there's a lot of people that like want to take that leap of faith, but they're just fucking scared.
So I read a book about faith a while back, many years ago, and I really think it became where faith is like a muscle tool.
Mm,
It's like any other muscle that you utilize. So if you are really wanting to grow your muscles, you are going to the gym and you're working it out. The only way to really grow faith is to work it out, right? So it's a
mm,
physical, it's an action word. And so that's one of the things that I think has time has really taught me, is that in order to grow more faith, I have to do things that are faith filled. And that's one
mm.
of the reasons that I jumped into this.
I love that. So let's go tactical because every time people listen to my podcast, they're like, "Where's the tactics?" So whenever I bring on interviews, they like the mindset, but they're like, "Give me the tactics. Like, how are you
Okay.
doing this?" So, tell me a little bit about your offer. So, how much are you charging for your offer? Let's start there. And how many clients do you have?
Okay, so I charge about 347 a month per month. I do thrive a lot from what I make Black Friday week. So I do give a big discount that week. So but my paid in full for 6 months is, I do 6 month and 12 month program. That is something I learned with, I coach menopausal women and
Mhm.
they need a minimum of 6 months. So I do 6 month and 12 month program. My 6 month program is 1497. My paid in full, that's my discounted price. Actually, I do 1697. Then I tell them they get a $200 coupon. That makes
Yeah.
them feel happy. And then the 12 month program is 3297 for the year, paid in full. So they do get a pretty big discount if they pay in full. But that's
Yep.
my pricing. And then when I offer challenges, I do a challenge discount. I call it a fast action. That's what Shal taught us to call it, a fast action discount. So that's what I do, a fast action discount. Somebody does a 14-day challenge or a 4-day challenge and they purchase from the challenge, they usually get a pretty sweet discount, and I'll take $100 off for the monthly on that one, with them knowing that when I bump it up, it's going to be, the 347, or if they want to pay in full, they can get a big discount when they renew. So, but that's my basic offer. Did that answer that question
Yes,
for you?
100%. That
Okay.
was great. It's
Okay.
fantastic. I think that was a lot of value. Now, you mentioned that you get most of your business off of Facebook. So, what are you doing right now to get clients from Facebook?
From Facebook, a lot of the thing about Facebook with my avatar, people are really active, women over 40. They're really active on Facebook. It's very community driven. I'm always seeing these young people who are like, I don't have a Facebook. I'm like, how do you not have a Facebook? Because it's so community driven. So you can have groups there and different stuff like that. I've had groups for years. I have groups that are 20 years old almost on there. So Facebook is probably, I have a free community that Janelle Will, who is the OG, the bomb, such an amazing coach to get time around. She taught us how to just kind of do weekly posts. So I do like a Monday mindset, a tasty Tuesday, a winning Wednesday, a thirsty Thursday, Friday fun, Saturday family, and Sunday grocery haul. That's what we do every single week. And so that community stays pretty popping. So anytime I drop something, I drop it in the free community first. There's only about 300 people in there right now, but it was only like 30 when I started.
Mhm.
So I feel like it's grown consistently on its own.
Mhm.
Everything's been organic for me. I've never run ads because that was just something that wasn't taught to us up into the 10K. And we've had one teaching, I think, now on running
Yep.
ads, right? Which
Yep.
was amazing. But anyways, that's basically on Facebook. That's what I do. And then I just follow the process. We have, send out DMs, reach out, people that respond. And I just be myself on Facebook. I feel like I can be myself on Facebook. Does that make
Mhm.
sense? So the social side of me is very apparent on Facebook. I'm very social on Facebook. And so that one has been a little easier for me, or
Yeah.
simpler, I guess.
So when you say be yourself, because I know that there's people that are listening to this that like want to fucking tap into that. What do you mean by be yourself?
So they made me quit posting memes. I love memes. They're like, don't post memes anymore. That's unprofessional. So sometimes, occasionally, if you watch my stories, you will see a fun meme because I just can't help myself. So I just try to keep that same sense of humor, but just get it in post. And so the humor, I think, is what has always drawn people to me in the first place. When they first
Mm,
asked me, because I still teach yoga classes because I like it, right? And I remember when they first started asking me to teach yoga classes, I was like, "Are you sure?" Because I am not a serious human being. So I think you just have to take your personality and inject it. So like whatever post you're posting, whatever you're reposting, it needs to have you in it. And it needs to
mm,
be something that's going to reflect your business. Like, how can I turn this around and make it be something that's either going to give somebody value so that they put down the Twinkie, or am I going to be able to get them to actually, see me as a coach? Is it going
mm.
to catch their eye? And is it going to be
Yeah.
something professional? Am I presenting myself fresh? That was the biggest thing I learned was I was like, I'm literally a walking business card on Facebook. I mean,
Mhm,
everything about Facebook, your cover
mm.
photo, your profile, everything is your walking business card. And that was something that you guys taught me. And I was so appreciative of that because that has rocked my world and changed everything about what I do on Facebook.
I love it. And just so everybody that's tuning in knows, Danya's been with me for since the end of 2022. So that would be 1 year, almost 2 years now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Exciting.
Yeah, that's really cool. There was something that you mentioned that I wanted to hammer home. So there's a guy that I follow on Instagram. His name's Tony the Wolf. If you guys haven't gone to follow Tony the Wolf, he's fucking hilarious. But he's really good. He just like he does fitness videos, Danya, but then he does fitness videos like with mom jokes. It's fucking hilarious.
Okay, I'll have
Um,
to go follow him.
but like the reason I wanted to bring that up is because like the reason his shit goes, he's got like 1.3 million followers. His shit always goes viral because he's always interjecting his personality into the videos.
Yeah.
So like he's teaching you how to do a tricep extension, but he's also like making fun of your mom while he's doing it. It's the
I
fucking best.
definitely, then
But
you
that's
need to go
him.
follow.
That's
Yeah.
him. And it's
Yeah.
like I feel like that's a big reason that my content has performed well as well, is because like
Yeah.
I'm like, I call people fucking dorks. I do like I'm just inserting things that I think is hilarious, which some people get offended by, some people think it's funny, but it's like that's me, and that's why I'm attracting so many people. So I like that. I
Yeah.
like that advice. Yeah.
I need to get better about that. I did with my videos. That is something I will say. Adley unlocked something. You had Adley come and talk at an event to us. Adley Kinsman, is that her last name?
Yep.
And she unlocked something in me. She was talking about those chickens. You remember the story about the chickens where
Yeah.
she had done her first video and Chick Norris was the one and they were fixing their hair and all this different stuff. And I was like, oh my God, not that I need chickens, but I have a hysterical life and I've never thought about pulling that much of myself into my video. So it definitely, I even Janelle was commented, she's like, ever since that event, you've done so much better. But I think Adley freed me up to be like, hey, you're this crazy
Mm,
creative person. You're
mm.
freaking hysterical. You should be able to watch your content and eat popcorn and laugh a lot. And I was like, well, I should be able to do that because I am freaking hysterical, right? So that's something I've really tried hard to pull in, and I think that has been my views have gone up a lot, which is
Mhm,
awesome.
mm,
The FYP has been showing up a lot more because I get a lot of, hey, this showed up in my da da da, and I'm like, yay! So that's
mm.
all good things. But I think that's been that. I was so thankful you gave us her. Wow, what an amazing person, and she was a phenomenal speaker, very
Yeah.
polished, very
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
Adley's the fucking best. I think she's the best coach I've ever had, just in terms
yeah,
of like Bedros was fucking incredible. Don't get me wrong. And there's a lot of things that unlocked in our business because of Bedros, and I'll be forever grateful. Taki was also amazing, but like Adley just cares beyond anyone I've ever seen. And she's really fucking smart, which is rare in a coach. You
yeah,
know, like
yeah. You
usually
can
there's
tell
get a
that.
coach that cares a lot or is really good, but it's rare that you find a coach that cares a lot and is really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's amazing. Yeah. I'm really thankful that you brought her to us. That was definitely like, wow. If you can get
Mm.
to one of his live events, do it.
Yeah. 100%. I
So
agree.
yeah.
So, Danya, there's a bunch of people listening right now that are hearing your story and it's giving them hope, but they're still stuck in their fitness business and they don't know what to do. So, if you could go back to yourself, let's say when you just got started, you're just getting your business off the ground, don't have any clients yet, knowing what you know now, what advice would you give to your past self?
I think the biggest thing that I had to say to myself, even getting joined for this, because I can't describe how broke I was at that time, was what if it works?
Hmm.
What if it does? What if it's the one thing that you've been looking for? I mean, you've been looking for it. You've been looking for this. You know that you've been looking for a solution. You have these problems. You have these people that need your help. I feel like we all know that we're the one called, right? In
Hmm.
our family, we're that one that's called out. And, what if it's the one thing that works? We have Dolly Parton here. We have Dollywood here. I don't know if you're familiar with Dolly Parton. I think everybody knows who Dolly Parton is, but Dollywood, she has a theme park here. This is so random, but she has this 3D walk through museum that you can go through. And that's my favorite place to go because she's standing right there in front of you and goes, all it takes is one dreamer. to change
Mm.
your entire family. And I'm like, that's me, Dolly Parton. So, so I think that that's true for all of us. So if you feel like you've been the one dreamer, if you're the one dreamer, why wouldn't you take this chance? What
Mm.
if this is it? And
Mm.
what if you turn away from it and it was the one thing that you were looking for?
I have one more follow-up question to that. What if I'm the dreamer and I'm listening to this and I've been burned in the past by somebody that let me down?
So that would be me. I definitely came from mentorship that sucked really bad. And I think that was part of the reason I was so broke, to be honest with you. I think that, well, first of all, this is the real deal. Well, I'm going to get emotional. Brian's changed my life. So you don't, y'all, I was able to take my kids on a trip. We've never gone on a trip ever. And we went to the beach that first year that you called me and we pulled over. That's the first trip we've ever been on. And it was
Mm.
thanks to this business because I had made $10,000 that month. And I took my whole family to England this year. Year before that, we all went to Universal Studios and stayed in, we stayed nice. It wasn't like, we went and stayed in a Motel 6. We were stayed on site. Everything was so wonderful. What do you want for your family? I mean, what do you want? And so like, this is it. If you've been burned in the past, it's because you were preparing for this.
Mm.
That's what it is.
Damn, Danya. I gotta get me one of them shirts.
I'm gonna send you a shirt for Christmas, B.
I will fucking wear the shit out of that shirt. I will fucking wear the shit out of that shirt. This is fucking great.
Yeah.
This
I
is
appreciate you
amazing.
so much. I really do.
Thank you. I received
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So thank you. This was fucking incredible. Amazing. Appreciate you so much. My podcast audience might want to follow you to get inspiration and just see what it looks like to have a $16,000 a month business. If they did want to follow you, where would they find you?
So on Instagram, you can find me as Danya Powers EC. Empowered Coaching is the name of my company. So the EC stands for Empowered Coaching. And Danya Powers, Danya spelled Danya. Powers is like superpowers, EC. And I'm Danya Powers on Facebook as well. So you can find me both of those places.
Boom. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys so much. Just want to put a friendly reminder here as well. It is Black Friday week. So we currently have some crazy deals on coaching going on right now. So if you're interested, DM me on Instagram Black Friday. Let's have a conversation. Peace, love, and protein. Have the best day ever. Danya, you fucking crushed it. Well done.
Thank you.
Peace.
Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. Hopefully you got some value. If you did, and you want to learn more about how me and my team can help you scale your online fitness business to $10,000 a month, DM me 10K on Instagram at TheRealBrianMark for more information, and I'll reach out to you to see if I can help you grow an online coaching business.